Good morning, everybody. Joe Bernstein here. Happy day after Halloween. I hope you had a great time out there. I really had a good time walking around my neighborhood, checking out all the kids in costumes, checking out the adults in costumes. I think a lot about how we, drop the armor, as my business name is, and take off our masks and get real in life. But it's actually a really beautiful thing to see people celebrating the capacity to consciously put on a costume and pretend to be someone they're not and have fun with it. And my neighborhood went hard. I don't know if you saw, I posted some pictures and a video of it. So today I actually want to quickly talk about how your greatest gifts, your greatest assets, your breakthroughs are always where we least expect them. I'm going to give you an example and tell you why this is on my mind. So yesterday I was at my unnetworking lunch with Cadre DC, and I was surrounded by some really amazing business owners and CEOs and leaders and someone that I really admire and appreciate. We were talking about his appreciation, his client appreciation open house event that I went to last week. And here's a guy who's got a great company. They have 45 employees. He's been doing this work for about 30 years, and he's a really inspiring leader. And we were starting to talk about content, and me, him, and another business owner. And he actually shared, he was like, I get help. Somebody helps me write my content. And I said, wow, well, no wonder it's so brilliant. And we talked about how some of it is off the cuff, some of it is random, some of it is just moments of inspiration, but some of it is written out. And then he started to share with me how his best employee, one of the most vital assets that he has for his whole company, he found working at a bakery, at a supermarket, making donuts. Now, this is like the woman who's almost his right hand, right? The woman who does so much for his entire business. She writes content for him in all kinds of ways. She reviews every kind of contract. She's almost like a master of ceremonies of anything written or anything public facing for his whole company and for his own personal brand. And so we got to talking about how I remember I always had really amazing people working for me when I was in retail. There was people who were working part-time or who were just graduating college, and they were so amazingly skilled, but you saw them in like a part-time sales associate job or a lead sales specialist job, someone who's not making a bunch of money, doesn't have a lot of prestige, but they're an extraordinary asset. And I talked about a friend of mine who, as soon as we hired him as a part-timer, we were going, hey, this guy's amazing. He's going to take over the world. And he was one of our best salespeople. He was one of the most inspirational people that we had on the team. And he was a part-time sales associate at 21 years old. He went on to then, start companies and make millions of dollars and do some really amazing stuff in international currency exchange. My point is, great talent, great gifts, great assets for people's businesses, for companies, for our love lives, for our social lives. They're often in the last places we look or where we least expect it, right? So an example from my life is, in fact, I used to, as you guys know, be 340 pounds. You could see the picture. Oh, yep, video's backwards. You can picture right behind me. Back when I was that's about me at 315, 320. I'd already lost a few pounds, believe it or not. So people often think that losing weight and changing your body and life is actually about restriction. And it's about pushing yourself to do things you don't love in the gym. And actually, what I've done is I've leaned into my desire for food, my love of food. My foodiness is the thing that helped me learn to cook and eat healthy and to enjoy food in a whole new way. Hey, thanks, Donnie. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's all about that good energy. So anyway, my love of food was the thing that I leaned into to lose 160 pounds. It wasn't about starvation. It wasn't about restriction. And as well, my love of a healthy challenge. What's up, Derek? How you doing, man? I'm actually talking about some stuff I learned, a gift I received at the Cadre event yesterday. So anyway, I learned to love food and I learned to lose weight because of my love for food. I leaned into that. I leaned into that. I leaned into this connection with healthy challenge and joy and excitement and fun to actually start to love to exercise. So additionally, I used always grew up thinking I was socially awkward. I'm a bit of an introvert, even though it doesn't look like that a lot of the time. Sometimes if you watch me close at a party, you'll see it. But I'm a pretty social guy, and I used to run retail stores, and I used to get on stage and sing and do musicals, and used to, I love presenting. But deep down, I'm introverted, and I used to think that introversion was going to keep me from having a great social life, and it was actually going to keep me from having a great love life, especially after I got divorced. But that introversion was the thing that I leaned into. It actually meant that I'm great one-on-one. So I learned to leverage that introversion. I learned to manage my energy. I learned to understand that I am the guy who can go deep, who can create intimate conversation, an intimate relationship because of my introversion, which helps me succeed in many ways. It helped me succeed when I started dating again after divorce because I was a guy that could always cultivate a really deep and powerful conversation and create deep connection. But I wasn't the guy who was going to show off at a bar or a party and get a lot of attention. Additionally, that's what I learned to leverage. I used to be on a retail sales floor, managing a whole team, managing lots of clients and customers. And the reality was, I'm best in a one-on-one sales engagement. I'm best in a one-on-one conversation with one of my employees in the back of the house or when I'm coaching them. So what did I do? I leaned in and I learned to create a business leveraging that introversion, leveraging that part of me that can be shy in a crowd, but can go super deep and can get really transformative in intimate relationship. I leverage it to create a business and to help liberate people's lives and to help people step into greater access to the things that they want so they can experience more joy, more peace, more success, more fulfillment, more happiness, more love, etc. So I want to remind you today that your greatest gifts, your greatest assets, your breakthroughs, they're often in the place or the part of your life or your world that you're not looking. They're often in the parts of yourself that you devalue. And we've been taught to devalue them and to hide them to get by in this life and to pretend that we're something we're not. But when we dig deeper, when we look at who we really are, the things that we try and shy away from, the things we're afraid of, the things we don't like about ourselves, those are the parts of us that make us amazing. And those are the pathway through transformation. You know, I talked about Cadre. In February, we're going to see Ryan Holiday speak about his new book, Stillness Speaks. His book, Obstacles Away, is something that was breakthrough for me. It aligns with my complete philosophy. I don't try and get over or around introversion. I don't try and get over or around my love for food and my desire for pleasure through food. I go through those to create the change that I want, to create the transformations I want, to create the life that I want. And I try and teach my clients the same thing. That's the work that helps them really get what they want in this life. So if you have an example of where one of your greatest gifts, one of your greatest assets became an ally, where you created breakthroughs by moving towards the thing you used to avoid, you used to hide about yourself, I want to hear about it. I want you to plug in in the comments your examples. I'd love to share the inspiration of this message with others. That's what I got for now. If you're digging this, share it. I'm out. Enjoy your Friday. Peace.